I never thought I'd wake up in my father's body, staring at the man I'd become through his eyes, my own reflection twisted into a stranger's sneer. The junk house I'd bought for $1,200 wasn't just a ruin, it was a goddamn portal. And the first soul it swapped was mine with the bastard who ruined everything. By the time they realized what I'd done, it was too late. Their empire of lies was crumbling from the inside. And I was the ghost pulling the strings. That rain-soaked night in Detroit, as thunder cracked like a judge's gavel, I signed the papers on that eyesore of a house, my family's curses still ringing in my ears. They didn't know the half of it yet, the betrayal that started it all, the secret they'd buried deeper than the foundation cracks. File 1. The ink was barely dry on the deed when my brother Tyler slammed the door of the family SUV so hard it echoed off the empty street like a gunshot. "Dakota, you stupid son of a bitch," he spat, his polished loafers splashing in the puddle at my feet. Rain poured down in sheets, turning the cracked asphalt of this forgotten corner of Detroit into a black mirror reflecting our fractured family. Tyler, ever the golden boy in his tailored suit, looked like he'd stepped out of a boardroom, not the ruins of our childhood neighborhood. Behind him, Mom clutched her pearl necklace like it was a rosary, her eyes red from the argument that had boiled over in the lawyer's office. Dad? He just sat there in the driver's seat, engine idling, his face a mask of that cold authority that had built our family's real estate empire on the backs of folks like me. "You think this fixes anything?" Tyler continued, gesturing wildly at the house behind me, a sagging two-story Victorian with boarded windows like blind eyes and a porch that tilted toward the gutter like it was drunk. $1,200 for a money pit? You're 32. Dakota. Act like it. I wiped rain from my face, tasting the metallic tang of the city on my lips. "It's mine.
Ty.
Legal and paid for. You gonna evict me now?" Mom stepped forward, her voice a whisper-shrill mix of Midwestern piety and old money disdain. "This isn't about the house,
Honey.
it's about priorities. Your father and I, we've given you everything.
College.
The down payment on your apartment, even that failed flip in Hamtramck. And now this? Throwing it away on garbage." Dad finally killed the engine, the sudden silence heavier than the storm. He unfolded his bulk from the SUV, his 6'4" frame dwarfing the rest of us. Rain beating on his Burberry trench like it knew better than to soak a man like Harlan Whitaker. Whitaker Properties owned half the revitalized lofts downtown, turned Rust Belt graveyards into hipster playgrounds. But me? I was the black sheep, the one who dropped out of Michigan State to find himself in construction gigs, the disappointment who reminded them of the old neighborhood they fled decades ago. "Dakota," Dad said, his voice low and gravelly, the kind that sealed million-dollar deals over steak at the Detroit Athletic Club. "We're cutting you off. No more allowance. No more loans. You're on your own." The words hit like a gut punch, but I'd seen this coming. Ever since the incident 5 years back, the one they swept under the rug like so much construction dust, I'd been on borrowed time. They thought guilt-tripping me into line would work forever. But that house, it wasn't impulse. It was the last thread of a secret unraveling. I laughed, a bitter bark that startled even me. On my own, in the house Grandpa left rotting here, the one you all pretended didn't exist after he died broke and alone. Tyler's face twisted. Grandpa was a drunk.
Dak.
Lost everything to bad bets. This place is a curse. Enough. Dad raised a hand, and just like that, the rain seemed to pause in respect. "Pack your shit from the condo by morning," or we'll have it done for you. They piled back into the SUV, tires hissing on wet pavement as they peeled away, leaving me soaked and staring at my new kingdom. A kingdom of rot and regret. I pushed open the creaking door, the hinges screaming like they knew what was coming.
Inside.
The air was thick with mildew and memories, Grandpa's ghost in every warped floorboard. He'd been the original Whitaker dreamer, flipping houses before it was trendy, until Dad's ambition turned him into collateral damage. I dropped my duffel in the foyer, flashlight beam cutting through the dust motes like a knife. The place was worse than the photos, wallpaper peeling like sunburned skin, a staircase that groaned under its own weight, and in the living room, a massive antique mirror propped against the wall, its silver backing tarnished but intact. Grandpa's prized possession. Or so the estate lawyer said when he dumped the keys on me for a pittance. Tax write-off, the guy had chuckled. Or a haunted house special. Exhaustion hit like a freight train. I collapsed on a sleeping bag amid the debris, the storm raging outside. Sleep came fitful. Dreams tangled with accusations, Tyler's smug grin, Mom's tears, Dad's unyielding stare. And then, in the witching hour, a rumble not from thunder. The floor vibrated. I bolted upright, heart hammering. The mirror glowed faint at first, like bioluminescent algae in Lake Erie, then brighter, pulling at me like gravity gone wrong. I stumbled toward it, reflection warping, my face elongating, eyes darkening to Dad's steel gray. What the foo? A jolt like live wire through my veins. The world inverted. I was falling, spinning, and when I hit the ground, it wasn't my body that ached. I blinked, and the ceiling above me was wrong, plaster medallions, not exposed beams. My hands, rough, callous from years of hammering nails, felt smooth, manicured. I sat up, and a wave of vertigo hit. The room was the master suite at the Whitaker estate in Grosse Pointe, all silk sheets and ocean views. And in the ensuite bathroom mirror, Dad stared back. Harlan Whitaker, in the flesh.
His flesh.
Panic clawed my throat, but it came out in his baritone rumble.
No.
This isn't. A knock at the door. Harlan, you up? Board meeting in 2 hours. Tyler's voice, efficient as ever. I froze. My mind raced. Hallucination?
Prank? But the weight of this body.
The faint ache in Harlan's bad knee from that yachting accident last summer, it was real. Too real. Yeah, I managed, pitching my voice low. Give me a minute. What the hell had that mirror done? Swapped us?
Me and Dad?
The junk house's secret, buried like Grandpa's shame. I dressed in his closet, Armani suits that hung like armor, and descended the grand staircase. Each step a betrayal of my own limbs. Tyler waited in the kitchen, scrolling his phone, a protein shake in hand. He looked up, nodded. Rough night? You look off. Just the storm, I lied, sliding into a stool. The coffee burned going down, but it anchored me. This was my shot. The family that cast me out? They'd handed me the keys to their kingdom. Harlan Whitaker's body, his voice, his power. The betrayal they'd pinned on me, the embezzlement scandal 5 years ago. The one that nearly tanked the company and got me scapegoated as the disgruntled employee. It started here. Dad had cooked the books to cover Tyler's gambling debts, framed me to keep the empire intact. I took the fall, pled guilty to a misdemeanor, lost my license as a contractor. They forgave me, but the strings attached choked me slow. Now, I was Harlan. And Harlan didn't play fair. The board meeting was a blur of PowerPoints and posturing in a glass tower downtown, the Detroit River glittering below like fool's gold. I nodded through rezoning proposals, signed off on evictions in the old factory districts, decisions I'd once protested as heartless. But each stroke of the pen was practice, steeling me for the real moves. By afternoon, I was back at the estate, rifling through Dad's, my office safe. Files on the scandal, forged signatures in my name, wire transfers to offshore accounts for Tyler's Vegas benders. Proof. And deeper, the secret that gutted me, Grandpa hadn't lost the house to booze. Dad foreclosed on him, deliberately, after Grandpa discovered the first skim, back in the 90s. Betrayal layered, like onion skin, each peel a knife twist. That night, as Harlan's body, I drove the Bentley back to the junk house. The mirror waited, pulsing faintly. Touching it again sent me reeling back to myself, slumped on the floorboards. But the swap held two bodies, two lives, a tether I could pull at will. The house's curse, or Grandpa's final gift. I spent the next days juggling, Dakota by night in the ruins, plotting, Harlan by day, sowing doubt. At family dinner, mandatory Sunday ritual, I watched Tyler squirm as Harlan grilled him on quarterly reports, eyes lingering on the ledgers. Mom noticed the shift, her fork pausing midair. Harlan, you're different. More like your father was. Before the business hardened him. Tyler laughed it off. Jet lag from the trip? Or is Doc's bad influence rubbing off? I smiled from across the table, Harlan's lips curling in a way that felt foreign and fierce. Maybe it's clarity. Son. Seeing things for what they are. The hook was set. But revenge? It demands blood. Or at least the illusion of it. My first controversial call came Monday, as Harlan. I greenlit a demolition on a low-income block, folks like the ones I'd grown up with. Displaced for condos. Protests erupted online. Hashtags flying. Whitaker evicts. The family name tarnished. Just a nick. Tyler cornered me in the office.
Dad.
What the hell? That's our bread and butter. But this? It's suicide. Progress, I replied coolly. Or are you scared of a little heat? His eyes narrowed, suspicion flickering.
Good.
Back in my body, I fortified the junk house. Boarded windows. Deadbolts. A generator humming against the grid's fickle mercy. The mirror became my confessional. Whispering echoes of Grandpa's voice in the glass. Make M pay.
Boy.
From the inside, word count crept toward the edge of sanity. Sleep fractured. Dreams bleeding between skins. But the tension built like a storm front over Lake Superior, dark, inevitable. Then, the first real fracture, Tyler hacked my Dakota's bank records, tracing the house purchase. He showed up at the door unannounced, pounding like a repo man. Open up. Loser. We know you used the last trust fund check. I cracked the door. Rain starting again. What do you want?
Ty. Keys.
Dad's orders. This place is a liability, health code violations, liens from Grandpa's era. We're foreclosing. My blood, Dakota's, boiled. On what grounds? He shoved a paper through the gap. Eviction notice. Stamped Whitaker Properties. Grounds? You're a joke.
Dak.
Always were. I snatched it, crumpling the lie. That night, as Harlan, I shredded the order in the boardroom. Eyes on Tyler. Family business stays family. No more meddling. He paled. But the house is mine, I growled. The power thrummed, controversial.
Yes.
Evicting my own blood from their scheme? Poetic. The city buzzed with backlash. Reporters sniffing at the estate gates. Mom called, voice trembling. Harlan. The press. They're saying you're turning into a monster. Aren't I always? I hung up, the line dead as the betrayal. Deeper I delved, swapping at dawn's edge. Harlan's emails revealed more, payoffs to city council for zoning favors. A slush fund tied to the scandal. Tyler's debts? Just the tip. Dad had covered for Mom's indiscretions too, a decade-old affair with the accountant, hushed with stock options. The family vault of sins. And I held the crowbar. My decision to leak the first file, an anonymous tip to the free press about the low-income demolitions, ignited the fuse. Protests swelled. Tires slashed at Whitaker HQ. Tyler confronted me at a coffee shop in Midtown, his face gaunt.
Dak.
If you're behind this shit-stirring. Behind what? I sipped Harlan's espresso, legs crossed in the leather armchair. The leaks. Dad's losing contracts. You're ruining us.
Us.
The word dripped venom. Maybe you ruined yourselves first. He leaned in, breath hot. Remember the plea deal? You took it to protect the family. Don't make me remind you why. The why. I discovered the frame job too late. Cornered by Dad's lawyers. Sign or prison. I signed, swallowing the acid of injustice.
Now.
In this skin, I could spit it back. That swap lingered longer, 8 hours as Harlan. Long enough to fire Tyler's assistant, a loyalist who'd buried the embezzlement files. She wept in HR. But the domino tipped. Back home, the mirror hummed approval. Grandpa's reflection flickered beside mine. Deeper.
Boy.
Twist the knife. The tension coiled. Mom's calls turned frantic. Dad's, my nights sleepless in the estate's king bed. I pushed. Controversial edicts flying, halting a charity gala for reallocation, donating Whitaker funds to a rival developer who'd lost to us years back. Whispers of dementia, of breakdown. Tyler struck back, tailing Dakota to the junk house. I watched from the shadows as Harlan, binoculars in hand. He jimmied the lock, fool, and the mirror flared. His scream cut the night, body convulsing as the swap tried to claim him. But the tether snapped back, leaving him dazed on the floor. He stumbled out, eyes wild, driving erratic to the estate. By morning, he was in my office, Harlan's ranting. The house.
Dad. It's
evil. Swallowed me whole. I feigned concern. Delusions. Son, from the stress.
No. I saw. You. Not you.
Him. The fracture widened. Mom suggested therapy. Dad, me, prescribed rest. But the board murmured. Stocks dipped. Revenge tasted like bourbon, smooth, then scorching. As Dakota, I reinforced the wards, salt lines, prayers half-remembered from Mom's Baptist youth. The house whispered secrets now, Grandpa's logs hidden in the attic, detailing Dad's first betrayal, forging the will to seize assets, leaving Grandpa penniless. I leaked it piecemeal. Anonymous drops to bloggers. Whitaker legacy trended. Skeletons dancing in the digital ether. The climax brewed. Tyler cornered Mom at church, spilling half-truths. She called Harlan, hysterical. Your son's breaking the house, it's cursed.
Like your father said.
Come home, I soothed. We'll end it. That night. Family summit. They arrived at the estate. Tyler twitchy. Mom prayer beaded. Dad's absence my cue to swap fully. I waited in the study. Harlan's cigar smoldering. We confront Dakota, Tyler urged. Burn the damn place.
Burn.
The word ignited me.
No.
We talk. They piled into the fleet of cars. Convoy to the junk house. Rain lashed like judgment. I arrived last, as Harlan, stepping from the Bentley like a king to his execution. Dakota's form waited on the porch, empty, a decoy jacket on the rail. They burst in, flashlights sweeping. Tyler found the mirror first.
Here.
Smash it. His crowbar swung, and the world warped. The glass didn't shatter. It absorbed the blow, rippling like water struck by a stone, and Tyler's arm vanished to the elbow. He howled, wrenching back, skin unmarked but eyes bulging with whatever vision the house fed him. Mom screamed, crossing herself, while I, Harlan's shell, watched from the doorway, heart pounding in this borrowed chest. The storm outside thundered applause, lightning etching their faces in stark white, terror, confusion, the raw underbelly of the empire they'd built on my bones. What the hell is this? Tyler gasped, cradling his arm like it might dissolve.
Dad.
You saw it, tell her. Mom backed toward me, her heels snagging on a loose floorboard. Harlan, we should have listened to the priest. Demolish it. Exorcise it. I stepped forward, voice steady as Harlan's boardroom timbre. It's not the house. It's us. The sins we've buried here. Tyler's head snapped up, suspicion sharpening his gaze. What do you mean? Us? You're talking like Dak now, riddles and guilt trips. The air thickened, the mirror's glow pulsing in rhythm with my pulse. Ours? The tether tugged, a reminder that this swap was fragile, fueled by rage and whatever eldritch rot Grandpa had woven into the walls. I'd found his journals that afternoon, scrawled in a crawlspace, incantations cribbed from old Welsh immigrants in the factories, binding spells to reflect the thief's face. He'd meant it metaphorically, a curse on betrayers. But grief and desperation turned metaphor to magic. The mirror didn't just reflect, it exchanged, forcing the guilty to wear the innocent skin. Or vice versa. Explain, Mom pleaded, clutching my arm, Harlan's arm, nails digging like accusations. Why this place? Why now? I met her eyes, seeing the woman who'd baked apple pies for school fundraisers, then signed off on evicting single moms for profit. Because it's where it started. Grandpa found out about the skim, the one you all covered. He confronted you. Harlan. I slipped, using Dad's name like a weapon. They didn't notice. Too afraid. Tyler laughed. Manic. Grandpa was senile, ranting about stolen souls. Dad bailed him out again. Bailed him out by breaking him. The words hung heavy. I pulled the journal from my coat, Harlan's coat, pages yellowed. Ink faded but furious. Read it. Your father's handwriting. Forging the foreclosure. Grandpa's last entry. They'll pay in kind. Mom snatched it, scanning by flashlight. Her face crumpled. Harlan.
Did we?
I don't remember. Gaslighting. Tyler sneered. but his voice cracked. Dax poisoned you with this crap. He's the one stirring the leaks. Isn't he? The protests. A floorboard creaked upstairs. We froze. The house breathed, walls contracting like lungs. Another flash, Tyler again. Or something wearing him. No. Just wind. But the doubt seeded. Let's go, I said, channeling Harlan's command. Before it takes more. We retreated to the cars. The mirrors glow winking farewell. In the Bentley, alone, I swapped back, tether straining, like rubber band at limit. Dakota's body slumped over the wheel, the estate looming as I arrived. Slipping into the guest room, I eavesdropped from the shadows. Tyler's voice rose from the study. Swear?
Mom.
When I touched it, I was inside him. Dakota. Seeing through his eyes, the betrayal, the frame job. It was real. Show. Mom hushed. Your father's changing.
Cold.
Approving those evictions. It's not him. Not him. Tyler's whisper cut. What if it's not? Paranoia. My old friend. I smiled in the dark. The next week blurred into a fevered dream of dual lives. As Dakota, I vanished into the city's underbelly, soup kitchens in Corktown, union meetings where ex-Whitaker tenants vented fury. Whispers spread, the junk house as symbol, a holdout against gentrification. I fueled it. Anonymous flyers, Whitaker steals souls. Controversial? Hell yes, painting my own blood as vampires. But the boardroom leaks kept coming. Emails to regulators, hinting at the embezzlement. As Harlan, I escalated. Fired Tyler from VP. Nepotism's over. Son. Earn it or leave. He stormed out, vowing lawsuits. Mom retreated to church ladies, praying for our Harlan soul. The press feasted. Whitaker patriarch in meltdown? Family feud rocks Detroit dynasty. The controversy peaked at the city council hearing. I testified as Harlan. Voice booming. Revitalization demands sacrifice. The old must yield. Booze reigned. A tomato splattered the dais. Security dragged the thrower. But the viral video exploded. Boycott Whitaker trended. Contracts evaporated like morning fog off the river. Tyler's countermove, private eye on the junk house. He staked out. Caught me, entering at odd hours. Confrontation came at dawn. Him hammering the door. Dakota, open. You freak. I answered as myself. Bleary-eyed. What now? You're haunting Dad. The mirror, it's swapping you. I felt it. His eyes darted.
Wild.
Admit it. And maybe I let you keep the shithole. The admission hovered. Instead, I shoved him back. You're delusional. Go home. He lunged, fist connecting with my jaw, Dakota's jaw. Stars burst, but I swung low, knee to gut. We tumbled into the foyer, rolling toward the mirror. It flared. Hungry. Stop, I gasped, pinning him. You want truth? The scandal, you gambled it away. Dad framed me to save your ass. He bucked, face purple. Lies. I was covering for him, Mom's affair. The payoffs. He made me, the tether yanked, panic swap. Suddenly, I was Harlan, strength surging, slamming Tyler against the wall. Enough, he stared, recognition dawning. Dad? No, Dakota? The house groaned, mirror cracking faintly. I released him, stumbling back to my body mid-fall. We lay panting, the air electric.
You're.
In him, Tyler whispered.
How?
Payback. I sat up, wiping blood, mine from lip. For the frame. For Grandpa. For kicking me out like trash. He scrambled up, backing away. We can fix it. Delete the leaks. Reinstate you. Too late. The decision crystallized. Controversial as hell. Expose it all, even if it tanked me too. Counsel gets the files tomorrow. Full board. His face hardened, cunning surfacing. The brother I'd forgotten. Then you're done. I'll tell them you're insane. Committed. He fled, tires squealing. I barricaded the door. Mirrors glow a cold comfort. As Harlan that day, I attended the hearing's aftermath. Backlash meetings. Lawyers circling. Tyler arrived late, disheveled, pulling me aside.
Dad. We need to talk.
About the house.
Now.
The room buzzed with suits. Private. We ducked into a conference room. Lock clicking. It's Dakota.
He's
possessing you. The mirror swapped you. I feigned shock. What? I saw it. Felt it. He's ruining us, leaks.
Protests.
We burn the place. End this. Burn. The word again. My gut twisted. Harlan's gut. Softer than I'd thought. And the evidence? The real crimes? His eyes gleamed. What evidence? Family first. Betrayals echo. I nodded slowly. Tonight. You and me. He grinned relief. Mom waited outside, oblivious. Dusk fell like a shroud. We drove to the junk house. Tyler with gas cans rattling in the trunk. Rain held off, moon mocking through clouds. He poured, lighter flicking, hesitation in his hand. Do it, I urged. Harlan's voice gravel. He turned, accusation sharp.
Unless.
You're not Dad. The lighter dropped, flame winking out. Prove it. I stepped into the glow spilling from the cracked door. Touch the glass. He did.
Tentative.
The ripple took him, Tyler's body slumping as his mind flashed into Harlan's memories. The frame job. The forgery. The lies. He jerked back.
Gasping. You. We.
Oh God. Now you know. I lit the match myself, tossing it into the puddle. Flames whooshed, devouring the porch. But the mirror, untouched, pulsed defiance. We ran, fire trucks wailing distant. At the estate, Tyler collapsed, babbling to Mom, it's him. Dakota's in Dad. She called the doctor, sedatives, whispers of breakdown. I swapped back amid the chaos, Dakota's form slipping away to a motel in Dearborn. News blared. Whitaker air arson attempt. Family implodes. The climax crested. Counsel hearing loomed. Files in hand, USB drive burning in my pocket. As Harlan, I'd testify truth. As Dakota, vanish. But Tyler anticipated. Cops at the motel dawn raid. Disturbing the peace. Arson suspicion. Handcuffs bit. Ride to lock up a blur. Interrogation room. Tyler across the table. Smug in visitor's chair. Told him you torched it. Mirror's gone, your power too. Smoke inhalation.
They said.
The house smoldered. Mirror melted to slag. My tether frayed. Confess, he pressed. The swaps. The leaks. or Dad stays lost. The decision, break or burn brighter. Screw you. Lawyers swarmed. Whitaker machine. Bail denied. Psych eval ordered. Delusions of possession, the shrink noted. In holding, dreams taunted, Harlan adrift in his body. Calling my name. The twist brewed, reverse truths. The psych ward smelled like bleach and broken dreams. Fluorescent hum drilling into my skull as I paced the common room. Paper slippers whispering on linoleum.
Outside.
Detroit's skyline mocked through barred windows, Motor City. Churning forward while I rotted in Whitaker-funded limbo. Tyler's play was masterful. Paint Dakota, the unhinged pyromaniac. Leaks as vengeful ravings. The council hearing? Postponed. Pending mental competency. Mom visited once. Eyes puffy. Clutching a Bible. Pray with me.
Honey.
This. Possession talk. It's the devil. Like your Grandpa was right. I cut in. Voice raw. Ask Tyler. He felt it. She crossed herself. Fleeing. Harlan's silence screamed loudest. No swaps since the fire. Was the tether severed? Or was he buried deep? Puppeteering his own corpse? Nights fractured. Meds fogged the edges. But flashes came. Harlan's board meetings. His hand signing my commitment papers. For the family's sake, he'd say. Voice mine but eyes vacant. Tyler puppeteered now. No, the journal's warning. The mirror binds the betrayer. It chooses the vessel. I'd been the vessel. Now, cast adrift. Escape brewed in boredom's monotony. Orderly gossip. Whitaker donations kept the ward plush, but understaffed. I feigned compliance, therapy sessions nodding through Rorschach blots that looked like flames. Revenge fantasies, the shrink probed. Your family's success versus your failures. Failures they engineered. I murmured. Controversial. Spilling half-truths, the frame job, Grandpa's disownment. He noted it, intrigued. Empowerment narrative. But arson? That's destruction. Not justice. Justice. The word festered. My decision crystallized in group therapy. Radical honesty. Next session. I unloaded the swap.
The house.
Tyler's arson complicity. Gasps rippled. The shrink's pen flew. Delusional. But coherent. Recommend further eval. Word leaked. Nurses whispered. A patient, externo with liver spots and grudges. Slipped me a contraband phone. Whitaker stiffed my pension. Spill more. I did. Voice memos detailing the embezzlement. A fair cover-up. Foreclosures. Uploaded to a dark web drop. Routed to the free press. Whitaker insanity trended anew. But twisted. Air's breakdown or whistleblower? Tyler's response. Tighter security. Meds doubled. But the tether twitched. Faint pulse in dreams. Harlan. Reaching. I pushed. Controversial gamble. Hunger strike. Release me. Or I die spilling. Ward buzzed. Lawyers descended. Bail hearing granted. Public interest. Courtroom reeked of old varnish. Judge eyeing me like yesterday's news. Tyler testified. Polished. My brother's unstable. The fire his doing. Obsessed with a cursed inheritance. Mom wept decorously. Then, the externo's contact. Anonymous affidavit from a board member. Spooked by leaks. Irregularities in finances. Harlan's behavior. Erratic. Bail granted. Conditions. Ankle monitor. No contact with family. I stepped into autumn chill, leaves crunching like brittle bones. The junk house lot smoldered black scar, melted slag where the mirror died. But under ash, a shard glinted, hand-sized,
Cool to touch.
the tether surged. Swap hit like lightning, Harlan's body in the estate library, books towering like judgments. I gasped, his lungs expanding. Tyler entered, drink in hand. Dad, the hearing dacks out. I set the shard down, hidden in palm.
Good.
We end this. His eyes narrowed. End how? Confession. Full board tomorrow. The skim, the frame, all of it. He choked on whiskey. You can't. We're Whitakers. Exactly. The power thrummed. Harlan's. Mine. Or I walk. Expose everything. Bluff. Half. The shard allowed microswaps, thoughts bleeding. Not full bodies. I fed Harlan doubts. Nightmares of Grandpa's ghost. Tyler stormed out, but the seed rooted. That night, as Dakota in a seedy motel off 8 Mile, I coordinated with the journo. Deep dive. Follow the money. Morning brought chaos. Boardroom showdown. Suits sweating as Harlan laid files bare. Embezzlement. Nepotism. The scandal that broke my son.
Gasps.
Tyler bolted up.
Lies. He's not.
Proof. I slid the USB, my uploads. Timestamps irrefutable. Resignations flew. SEC alerts pinged. Tyler lunged. Fists clenched. You're him, Dakota. Security dragged him. Howling. Mom fainted. Ambulance wailing. The climax detonated. Press swarmed the tower. Cameras flashing like paparazzi at a scandal. I escaped as Harlan to the lot. Shard in pocket. Full swap there. Dakota's form amid ashes. Harlan's arriving in the Bentley. True Harlan stumbled out, eyes clearing.
What?
Dakota? The confrontation, father and son. Shells cracked. You framed me, I accused. Voice mine but laced with his timbre. For him. For her. For the empire. He sagged against the car. Rain starting anew. I had to. Tyler's weak, debts like your grandfather's. The company. It was everything. Everything but family. The shard warmed. Mirrors echo offering one last pull. Swap permanent. Or release. His eyes pleaded.
Fix this.
Take it back. The decision loomed. Controversial core. Mercy or annihilation. Forgive. Rebuild on truths? Or twist the knife? Leave him trapped in regret's cage? Sirens neared. Tyler's arrest. Board implosion. Mom's call. Harlan? Dakota?
God.
Help us. I raised the shard. Choose. He lunged too late. The glow engulfed. Bodies blurring. But I held back. Tether snapping free. Harlan collapsed. Himself again.
Gasping.
The pain. I felt it all. Your pain. Truth reversed. Not just betrayal, but his own, the ambition that hollowed him, made him complicit in his father's fall. Grandpa hadn't cursed. He'd mirrored the monster Harlan became. Forgive, he whispered. Not yet. I pocketed the shard, walking into the rain. The empire crumbled, stocks tanked, lawsuits piled. Tyler pled out.
Disbarred.
Mom sold the estate. retreating to Florida condos.
Me?
I rebuilt on the lot, community center, flips for low-income buyers. Controversial still, Whitaker name on the plaque. A barb for the displaced. But the debates raged online. Hero or villain? Arsonist or avenger? The shard stayed hidden, a talisman against old sins. Months blurred into a gritty reconstruction. The junk house lot transforming under my hands, Dakota's hands, scarred and sure from ash heap to beacon. Hammers rang like church bells in the gray Detroit dawn. Volunteers from the union halls pitching in, ex-tenants I'd once fought for, now partners in the flip. We called it Whitaker's Redemption, a co-op of starter homes. Solar panels glinting on roofs like defiant middle fingers to the old skyline. Funding? Crowd-funded fury from the leaks. Plus a quiet settlement from the board's insurance. Harlan's doing. Post-swap. Take it. Build what I tore down. He visited once. Gaunt in khakis. The Burberry Days dust. Stood at the chain-link fence, watching crews nail plywood. Looks solid, he grunted. I wiped sweat, leaning on a post. It is. No strings. His eyes, my old tormentors, softened. The shard. You kept it. Safe. For reminders. Truth reverse lingered. The swap hadn't just exposed sins. It forced Harlan to inhabit mine, the eviction nights. The plea bargain's chokehold. Grandpa's lonely cough in this very soil. He'd emerged broken. Not reformed, but human. Controversial choice. I let him live with it. No jail. No headlines. Therapy, I said. Real talk. Or next leaks yours alone. He nodded, driving off in a sensible sedan. Tyler? Vanished to Vegas odd jobs. Ghosting calls. Mom sent postcards from the Gulf. Scripture quotes fading to proud of you. Son. The center's opening drew crowds, councilwoman cutting ribbon. Wary but smiling, her favors exposed. But reforms promised. Protests lingered outside. Pickets chanting blood money. I faced them, a mic in hand. It was. Now it's yours. Take it or burn it. Debate erupted, op-eds clashing. Dakota Whitaker, savior or opportunist? Podcasts dissected the curse, skeptics calling it mass hysteria. Believers spinning occult yarns. My truth? Buried deep. Shards whisper. The mirror shows what you hide. Nights. I worked late. Radio blasting Motown ghosts. Aretha demanding respect. The tension eased, but shadows clung. Dreams of swaps. Harlan's laugh mine. Tyler's pleas echoing. One storm-lashed evening. Thunder rumbling like that first night. The shard pulsed in my drawer. I pulled it. Reflection fracturing. 3 faces, Grandpa's weary. Harlan's haunted. Mine defiant. A knock shattered the moment. Tyler. Unshaven. Rain-drenched on the porch.
Dak. Need to talk.
I usher him in. Coffee steaming between us at the makeshift table. Plans for the next build spread like battle maps. What? Found something. He slid a thumb drive across. Dad's old files, offshore deeper than we knew. Not just my debts. He killed for it. My gut iced. Killed.
Grandpa.
Not accident. The fall down the stairs?
Push.
After the confrontation. Covered as booze slip. The reversal hit like a sledge. Not just betrayal, but murder. Harlan's ambition. A blade in the dark. The shard flared. Offering pull, swap with the grave?
No.
But justice? Tyler's eyes gleamed. Cunning remnant. We expose. Together. Ruin him final. The decision. Controversial apex. Forgive the man who'd worn my skin. Or wield the truth like the crowbar Tyler once swung. Why now?
Guilt. Or.
The house called me back. Felt the swap again.
Faint.
You're not done. I pocketed the drive. Rain pattering approval. We wait. Build first. Then bury him proper. He nodded. Alliance fragile as the first foundation pour. Spring bloomed grudging, tulips pushing through cracked lots like hope's stubborn weeds. The co-op thrived, families moving in, kids' bikes chaining porches anew. Harlan faded to Florida with Mom. Letters sparse, learning to fish. Missed the fight. But the climax echoed in quiet, a call from the DA. Cold case dusted off. Anonymous tip on Harlan Whitaker. Senior's death. Your name? I hung up. Shard warm. Tyler's doing? Or Harlan's confession? Swapped guilt bleeding out? The ending split debate. By tragic. Half happy. Empire dust. But roots regrown mine. Not theirs. I stood on the new porch. First tenants grilling burgers. Laughter cutting the dusk. Controversial? Hell. Yes, profiting from pain. Forgiving the unforgivable. But in America's grind, redemption's just another flip. Buy low. Build true. Sell the soul short. Thunder grumbled distant. Mirrors ghost in every reflection. They never expected my next move. Not destruction, but dawn.